Hey, hi guys, welcome back. All right, so Scorpios, this is going to be a storytelling for you guys. But one thing I will say is we're going to also do the second half of this will be specific for the single Scorpio storytelling, okay? And this was by special request from Beautiful G. One video per week. I will do it as a two-part segment where regular general Scorpio message and the second half is specific for singles. So the general and see what comes out of this, and then I will timestamp it right there in the description box when the singles portion begins. Okay, but let's see. Oh, also Scorpios, please don't miss out on your chance to enter to win. Of course, we are doing my annual Christmas party that I host every year. So in the description box, you'll see a free link where you can watch that video, and it tells you all about it, shows you all the prizes. That's the video you'll need to watch in order to enter to win. So don't miss that. Okay. All right. So here we go. We've got the house and we've got the lighthouse. It's a lot of house stuff going on right now. First off, this could represent maybe somebody lives near the coastline, maybe they live in some historic location or something, and that's just a side note. But more than anything, the house is kind of like where our roots are. And we see the need for guidance. The lighthouse to me is always talking about how to safely navigate troubled waters, particularly around matters of the home. So we could have a Scorpio who is dealing with difficulties in matters of stability, matters of the home, the house life. However we want to look at that. There could also be somebody who's feeling kind of lonely even. We've got the Tower, which of course looks very much like looking up at this lighthouse, right? So definitely somebody could live near a lighthouse, or they like lighthouses, or right now in my head, what I'm actually picturing is one of those like snow globes that has like a lighthouse in it. It just looks like there is the need for a change in perception. There is I'm going to go ahead and say it feels like there's tension in the place that should feel stable, safe, and secure. There is tension, and that tension needs to actually be alleviated, and the universe is bringing in some kind of shakeup that will likely be wonderful, but at first it never feels super fun. We have the embodiment of wands. This could be a big emotional like deluge. This could be a king of wands who suddenly opens up their heart to the Scorpio, finally like really starts to show how they feel. Finally their heart is completely like warm and fiery in a way that it previously hadn't been. Now this can also represent a change in partnerships. This could represent, you know what, I'm done feeling isolated. I want to end this in lieu of meeting a king of wands instead, somebody who's warm and warm-hearted. But I'm feeling like a character who previously has not, the Chariot, who previously has not shown their real heart is about to. And I'm going to double down on that message because the Chariot is moving forward. Obviously, we see, two dolphins. Dolphins are among the few creatures on Earth that mate not just for the purpose of procreation, but for joy and pleasure. And we see like a couple enjoying life. It's more playful. So all this tension that has been in a long-term connection seems like it's about to finally be released. Let me ask, what is it that's bringing about the Tower? Because that's super positive. Like, I'm super glad that we're seeing that. But what is it that needs to give? What is it that needs to crack? The Strength card. Somebody's been super stoic. They haven't wanted to either show their more emotional side. They thought that being strong, this could be a Leo, that someone's dealing with. We have Chariot also, so we have Cancerian energy as well. We also had Aries there with the Tower. Libra energy, Three of Swords. Okay, so what I'm going to say is Scorpio has some kind of a connection with a person, and this could be Scorpio themselves, or this could be the person. I'm reading it like it's them. I'm reading it like it's the King of Wands. The King of Wands had been truly devastated and heartbroken and betrayed. It was a really unpleasant experience that they went through. It was very unfair. And they were just simply trying to act like they were fine. Nope, I'm fine. I'm fine. Nope, I'm fine. This could have been someone who hurt them long before Scorpio ever met them. This could have been someone recently who hurt them. This could be, falling out with a family member, whatever it is. It hurt them way deeper, and they carried way more emotion about it. And in trying to be stoic, they basically kind of were pushing Scorpio away. They might have left Scorpio feeling like, okay, so I'm in this alone. Like, I don't see you talking to me. I don't see you telling me the truth. This feels really lonely. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. I don't know what's really happening with you right now. Finally, this character like cracks. They realize to be strong is actually to be able to open up to a character, to especially to their Scorpio, especially to the person that they're supposed to be able to build trust with. You can't build that when only one person is opening up. Why did they feel like it was strong to be silent? Because that's the vibe that I get. Wow. They might have been saying, look, because I love my Scorpio and I didn't want to hurt them. I didn't want to put my pressure on my Scorpio because my Scorpio is my Two of Cups person. I didn't want to tell them, how stressed out I've been. Tell me about that heartbreak though. What was the heartbreak? What was the betrayal and heartbreak here that they had been dealing with? The moon, definitely something they were keeping hidden. Tell me more about that though. Sorry, I'm gonna dig, even though it keeps saying don't know, don't know. We got a Queen of Cups. So this could have been like a mother wound. Maybe they, for whatever reason, here they are. They've come up twice as a King of Wands. Somebody warm, loving, somebody who has a ton of lovely energy to give. But if at some point in their life maybe they had a loss of a family member, that could be also, or maybe someone has, even somebody who is loving can end up causing a betrayal. Now this could have been an ex-partner, certainly. I don't think that this is Scorpio who did them wrong, because it wouldn't be easy to get back on track like this just by suddenly like breaking down and saying it. Maybe they were harboring some hard feelings. Maybe it was like, Scorpio, I really felt betrayed by, X, Y, or Z, and finally I need to get it off my chest. I don't think so though. I think that this was somebody else, and they didn't want to like explain all of that. They thought it was their burden to carry. They thought, I don't know, if there was some mother figure or somebody who should have loved them but gave them really mixed signals about, emotional stability, or if they, heaven forbid, lost a family member, someone who they really loved, grandma, nana, auntie, mother, sister, whomever it is. It could be a lot of different things, but there was some real imbalance here, something that was super unjust that occurred, and it felt like a big betrayal for this character. And it came, especially because it could have sideswiped them, it came from someone that they never would have expected to do this, or they're just now realizing how mixed up a situation really was. And it's like they're processing, they're going through something, they were trying to go through it alone, and that was isolating them. And they said, well, it's because I love Scorpio, I don't want to make this problem theirs. Yeah, but Scorpio's over here going, what is going on? I don't want to be in this big empty house, and it feels like I'm all by myself. I'm trying to be a guiding light. I'm trying to be present for this person, but they're not opening up, and I don't know what the deal is. This King of Wands is finally cracking. They are finally opening up. They are finally breaking the silence. And what is it that is helping them to break the silence? What is it that what is Scorpio doing, or what are they doing? Nine of Coins, and then with that Seven of Swords in the reverse. So I'm going to say Scorpio must say something to them about, like, look, you realize you can't really hide stuff from me because I know you too well. And I'm strong and stable. I'm not going to be, like, if you need some time to process, I understand, but you got to still talk to me about what it is. Just so I know it's not us, if it's a problem with me, let me know. Otherwise, if you need some space, sure, I can give it to you. I'm strong and stable though. Whatever your problem is, I'm here to share it. And I know you're strong enough to handle it, but I just wanted to be beside you because that's what a partner does. It feels like that's like the Scorpio just addresses it head on. And they say it with grace, and they say it with confidence, and they say it with a sense of like, this, I'm not going to be shaken because there's something tough that you're dealing with. As long as, we get a chance to just admit, we both know that there's something tough going on. It just feels like Scorpio creates like a space of abundance here, as well as calling it out like it is, instead of letting it be awkward and putting on a brave face. I don't think this Scorpio wants somebody to put on a brave face with them at all. I think Scorpio's like, look, I'm in this for the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm in it when we're crying ugly and got boogers running down our faces. Like, I'm not afraid of life. I'm not afraid of the ups and downs of life either. And I think that's a huge, huge breakthrough. How does that impact this King of Wands? I mean, we already saw the tower does fall. They finally crack. They finally talk about stuff. Wheel of Fortune, 6 of Coins. They feel like this is a big turning point in the relationship with them and Scorpio. This is awesome. This is like, wow, I can be real with you. It's not just a relationship that's, only sunshine and rainbows. You mean I can tell you what's actually going on, how I actually feel about stuff. You're not going to judge me. This is a turning point. This relationship, I think, is just about to start to deepen pretty significantly. And that's all because the Scorpio handles it with such a, like an honest and open way. It makes somebody feel like, I don't expect you to be a Superman or Superwoman. You can have your off days. You can have your days where you melt down, and you can do it in my arms, or you can tell me you need to do it privately, but just make sure you know, and I know that we're not walking away from each other. Like, I think that is the major turning point in this relationship. It's like, oh my God, this person gets it. They get me. They understand. This is a real change, and it makes this character want to give now. It makes them feel safe enough to give real energy. Maybe they never had a partnership that they could really open up in before. That could be the first time that they've had somebody they genuinely felt they could open up to. That's huge. Scorpio was able to do that and be there for this person in such a remarkable way, that would make somebody feel that safe. Like, that's huge. I can see why we've got that Wheel of Fortune there. It's a major shift in the energy for these two. All right, I am going to now go into a single storyline for Scorpio, and I will timestamp this later, coming in at 12:40. All right, so let's go ahead and see. For single Scorpios, let's just take a look, and I want to start out with something. Let's go with a totally different oracle deck. What's our message for a single Scorpio right now? Am I blue? Well, it's funny to have it there as a question, right? Is this single Scorpio blue? Are they sad? Are they not? How do they feel about something? We've got a single Scorpio who's kind of like, I got to evaluate this a little bit. I've got mixed emotions about something. Is this a situation that am I mourning something, or am I actually just kind of decompressing from something? What is this about? King of Coins, 6 of Coins. This looks like it's about career first. 7 of Coins, it's all about the coins. And then Knight of Wands. I gotta say, if our single Scorpio is feeling like mixed emotions about something, it could be because of an interaction that they have, possibly in the workplace. It could be like, okay, let me decide. Maybe they get passed over for promotion, or maybe something that they thought was going to change. It isn't. It's stable though. Here's the thing: 6 of Coins, 7 of Coins. There's stability, and there's a chance for a tremendous growth. But this could represent someone, a boss, or someone who gets promoted above Scorpio, and it could be like, I don't know. Does this bother me? Does it not? Did I really want that extra responsibility? I mean, the piles of cash would have been nice. But on the other hand, if I get to be a part of a team, it's almost like Scorpio's role is going to be changing and evolving, and it's giving them a different opportunity for growth. And ultimately, I would always argue that a 7 of Coins, especially when we couple it with a 6 of Coins and that Knight of Wands, I got to say, this is actually the preferred outcome. But there could be a little bit of mixed emotion for this Scorpio. Well, not could be, that's exactly what the story says, is I'm not sure. Am I happy about this, or am I kind of sad that I'm watching somebody else rise? But on the other hand, look at where I'm at. I love where I'm at. I love my colleagues. I love the people in my life. And I love the fact that I'm in the middle of like a pretty profound growth phase, and I can see that things aren't going too fast nor too slow. I'm seeing steady growth. Stability is really nice. And I think the more the Scorpio thinks about this, the more they're like, you know what? This is exactly what I would want. I don't want, I want the best of both worlds. Okay. The Scorpio doesn't want to stay static, but they also don't want things to like take off like a horse with a runaway cart. And I don't really think that they wanted the level of responsibility that this king is going to have, even though the money might have been nice. I think in reality, this Scorpio is pretty pleased with where they're at, but also the fact that where they're at, continuing to improve and increase opportunities and growth. But it is patient growth. It's not crazy, wild, great, now I've got to learn everything new. This is like nice, slow, and steady. And I think our Scorpio is recognizing, to be completely honest, to have things in one area of my life be steady, but continuously growing instead of, some huge sweeping change. I'm glad because it allows me to explore other things that I actually really enjoy doing. I think that we have a single Scorpio who can't really deny the fact that they like where they're at. They're not really sad, even though it's a little bit like, oh, I see somebody else rising faster than I am. But in truth, did I want to do what they're doing? I don't. So it's a little bit of mixed emotions until they get to this point where they're like, no, screw it. I'm going to have like one really awesome day. Maybe this is like Scorpio goes, because I didn't get the promotion. I get to not have to work all those extra hours. You mean I get to go home and nobody gets to call me after hours to put out fires and stuff? You mean I get a weekend, maybe a 3-day weekend, and I get to go take a little mini vacay and do something that I totally love? Yeah, life is sweet because my job's secure. What I'm building is secure. My relationships are secure with my friends, my family, my colleagues. But I also have freedom to do a side hustle, to pursue hobbies, to live a life. This feels good. I feel like the Scorpio is going to be going somewhere. I feel like they've got some little trip planned, or they've got some place where it's sunny. Now, maybe this is just someone who's like in the southern hemisphere, so already, like they're in a better climate. Like I'm in the northern hemisphere, so we're in winter, and we're in winter, like snow and you name it. We got it all. I'm freezing actually right now as I'm doing this video, but this is, I don't know, maybe this Scorpio gets to take a little mini vacay to someplace warm. We've got the Knight of Coins, again, with slowing stuff down and putting all their dominoes in a row. Look, this Scorpio is going to have huge success, particularly in matters of career. But they're not going to be some rising star that blazes into the night sky. And that's fine, because sometimes those rising stars that go up too fast can blaze right out. They burn out fast. This Scorpio is not going to do that. They're going to build like a step-by-step empire for themselves. And it's going to be at the tempo that they really care to build their reputation and their skill set at. Most importantly, though, it's not sacrificing work-life balance. This is a Scorpio who gets a really nice work-life balance. One thing I should mention, and I was thinking it, but I didn't say it, so I should go ahead and say it. This is a single Scorpio read that we're doing in this segment right now. This could represent the Scorpio's ex. And that could be why there's a little piece of like, am I blue? Sometimes it's hard, even if we don't want to get back with an ex, or even if we're happy for them and their success, sometimes it's tough to be the one who doesn't instantly like move on, or like whoever winds up having some huge success first. It can be kind of like, oh, I'm happy for them because, we ended in good energy, but it makes me feel, I don't know, there's that mixed energy. Like, am I blue? I shouldn't be, because obviously I want the best for a good person. Even if it's not with me, I'm happy for them. They got the job they wanted. They transferred. They did all the stuff that they've been angling for. And I send them on with love. But there's still this little like, this little twist in the pit of my stomach, because it's like, here I am keeping a steady tempo, But then the Scorpio goes, but that's what I wanted. Like, I'm not them. My wish would not have been to wear the business suit and, work in a skyscraper. I didn't ever want that life. I do feel like we are dealing with a more artistic, individualistic kind of a Scorpio, somebody who's like, my vision of a good life, super different than their vision. I'm not CEO, work in corporate world. I am somebody, and I'm just saying this because this is what we got. The way we've described this character, they have more personalized bonds that may have to do with their work. They might work really closely with clientele that's like, they'll build generational wealth with whole families, whole communities. They're super invested in developing like a reputation where people really know their name is synonymous with like getting the job done. They're building a totally different reputation for themselves. It may not be like flashy like a skyscraper, but it's so much more intimate and so much more satisfying for this Scorpio, and it's so much more who they truly are. They have room in their life for more than just work, and work doesn't just define them. Truthfully, their reputation defines them, and that is as a true person. And I think with all that in mind, the Scorpio goes, you know what? I've stood at that crossroads. I had the opportunity to be a major CEO myself, or to go down that road, or to be with someone who is going to do that. And truth be told, I can't help it. I am who I am. I would have felt like I was living in a tornado if I had chosen a path that my soul doesn't really want. So when it comes down to it, I picked the path, and I have no regret. I mean, that's really what the Scorpio is saying. I have no regret. I'm actually living my best life. Even though there was this moment where it was like, oh my God, I see somebody doing everything that they want and they're so happy and it's so different than the life I'm living. And we could say, oh, that's such an elevated life. Is it really? I mean, because that glass skyscraper could feel a lot like a prison for someone who would rather be working intimately, and maybe as an artist, or maybe as somebody who has more. I feel like this Scorpio's like a freelancer. I feel like they do things that are different, distinctly different, than other jobs. They're fulfilling like a real deep need within a community or something, and they absolutely love it. And it's so perfect for their lifestyle choice and for the essence of who they are. And I don't think that they could have chosen a different path. I think the Scorpio knows themselves way too well, and I think that they never could have chosen something that was inauthentic for themselves. It wouldn't have lasted. They would have been miserable. And unfortunately, that could have also played a role in whatever this relationship had been with someone who is a great person, but it was not, they didn't want the same things, at least at this point in time. Things can change, avenues can change, and in some cases, even a person who pursued a different avenue of life could wind up getting burned out on it. And the only reason I suggest this is because we have those two roads. This Scorpio stood at a crossroads and said, who am I really? Where do I belong? I belong on the road that I create myself. I don't want to force myself to fit in a world that I don't really want to be in. So every person has different choices in life, and we'll always be faced with new choices. We might change our mind as we grow, or we don't love something as much as we thought we did after we've tasted it for a while. Is there anything in the realm of romance on the horizon for this single Scorpio? I just love the fact that this has been more about them being really happy. Okay, so we have, speaking of really happy, we have the Lover's card. It is sideways, but we also have the 10 of coins upright. They will have opportunity in romance. Could be with a Gemini, doesn't have to be. The only thing is this card is sideways. I feel as if when it boils down to love and romance, it's interesting because Scorpio, look, Scorpio's destined to have like a very comfortable life with a lot of stability, and it looks like they're going to end up with a ton of money anyway. Just like at first they didn't choose a lifestyle with a particular person where there was already a ton of abundance, and yet they end up having a life of tremendous financial abundance anyway. But also 10 of coins is one of like I have like those really strong connections that we talked about earlier, like family and community is really important. This, I feel like somebody could live in like, oh, I don't know, somewhere like in rolling plains. They might live back east or something where there's like kind of older historic kinds of buildings. This looks like, I don't know, I've never been to Rhode Island, but this just reminds me of something like that. Um, I feel like this Scorpio could end up really building a lot for themselves in a community. By the way, yoga could be very important to this Scorpio, but they have kind of quite a mansion that they end up in. And when it comes to romance, they have more than a few romantic partners. But I will say that this Scorpio, at least at the time that we close this reading, um, they may discover that the bigger sources of stability in their life are the things that their career is generating and their interactions with a lot of really important people in their lives. And when it comes to intimate relationships, they may actually cross paths with more than one important intimate connection, but do they stay long term with each intimate partner? No. They might actually discover that romantic connections, at least at this phase of their life, are like the icing on the cake, but not the cake itself. The cake itself is these long lasting relationships they're building as they're building the foundation of what their life is going to be like. So I don't think that this single Scorpio is going to be without, romantic partners, but I also don't think that they're ready yet to meet their forever person. And maybe they never will be. I don't know. It's just in this one, romance is not actually the priority. The life plans, life goals, career path, and the stability is their main priority. And then romance is like an added lovely aspect of their lives, but that's not where all their focus is right now. And you know what? I think that makes perfect sense, just because this is a Scorpio who's kind of like staying true to themselves. They want to make sure that they build the life that they truly want. And I bet you anything, they'll meet the right person once they've got everything that they want, once all those other components are put in place. We don't see that. It's almost like this needs a part two or something. It's getting so long. We're going to pause this one now. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Lots of love to you guys. And please do let me know if you like seeing a video where we take the generalized approach and then also a specific like singles storyline in one video. If you guys do, we just might start doing that. All right, you guys, take care. Oh, AR, I'm so glad you made it to the live. All right, you guys, bye for now. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing, Scorpios. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.